again, just paying attention to any forecast changes that we continue to see. It's teeny tiny tweaks at this point. What's
They're
up?
only running Max 2, they're not running production 1, so this isn't going out over the air. They're seeing the graphics, but not seeing you. Or hearing you.
Okay. Well, what do you, so no stream?
We'll do one next. We'll have to start over.
Okay. Is it ready? Okay. I got it. All right. Hey, Central Texas, Whitney Huddleston here. It's 317. If you haven't been outside just yet, if you haven't driven across Central Texas, we already have standing water on some of our roadways. We've had a steady rain this afternoon. It was more isolated earlier this morning, but you could see that uptick on radar and even some brief heavy downpours. Goldthwaite headed towards Hamilton, Gatesville. That's along Highway 36, 281 as well to the north of Land Passes. You could see Hill County getting some heavy pockets of rainfall. And then here in Bell County, what I have experienced anyway since this morning is this slow, steady rain that has been situated across our area this afternoon. I want to point to something right here. You see these arrows moving real fast out of the northeast. The Arctic air mass is arriving this afternoon here in our southern counties. I'd say in the next couple of hours, it's moved through all our counties. So as we approach the evening hours, that's when we're going to start to see temperatures falling. Right now, you step outside, it feels cool, but it doesn't feel real cold. Like say if you were north of I-20, you can see switching over. I was just texting with my in-laws. They're having a steady, they said it's rain, but some of it is starting to mix over and look heavy, look different. So we're already seeing that switch over again north of I-20 outside of our viewing area. And basically what they're dealing with right now, we'll wake up and be dealing with tomorrow morning. So interesting weather on the way for sure. This weather impact already in effect, going to go through Monday morning. Then we're going to have another one Tuesday morning. Why? By then, precipitation is cleared out. We could have some leftover black ice in certain spots, but it's really going to be about the extreme cold Monday and Tuesday morning. So I would not be shocked if we do have some school delays. I would actually be more shocked if we didn't, because Monday morning we're going to wake up feeling like about 0 degrees. So other than the extreme cold we're going to be dealing with, yes, we do have that possibility of freezing rain and sleet. So that's what we're going to go through over the next few minutes or so. I will show you what models are currently showing us. We can now tap into the best models that are more short range, give us high-res pictures, images, and future casts that is just going to give us a good scenario. And they're in pretty much agreement at this point. Teeny tiny differences can still be made. But other than that, we can give you a pretty good picture of what you can anticipate for in a timeline. So winter storm warning already in effect, going to go through the weekend. Again, Monday and Tuesday mornings also going to be extremely cold. We can have accumulating ice. So as far as ice goes, if you're getting up to 1/4 of an inch, when you get up close to 1/4 of an inch, that is when you start to really see the issues. Not only slick roadways, ice is really heavy. That's when you can start to see the down power lines. You can start to see quite a bit of limbs falling, things of that nature. If you get closer to 1/2 an inch, that's when we're going to have widespread issues. So that is something that we're certainly going to be watching, since this is mainly going to be an ice event for Central Texas versus snow. So again, we've got the winter storm warning, we've got the extreme cold warning, and right now we're well above freezing, sitting in the 50s, but temperatures will fall now that the Arctic air has gotten here in the cold front, moving across our counties now. So rest of this afternoon, especially right around where that boundary is situated, we can have brief heavy downpours. Otherwise, just a slow and steady rain like what we're seeing right now. So that's the next few hours. Let's roll into dinner time. We're going to bed tonight. That's when potentially Comanche, Brown County, pointing towards the big country and I-20, that's when you're going to start to see the line that's north of I-20 right now in the Panhandle in West Texas. You're going to start to see it creep further closer to our viewing area. This is when we're going to bed tonight. So for the most part, the rest of today and through, I'd say about daybreak tomorrow, it is primarily going to be this cold rain. It could be heavy at times. So overnight hours, you see these numbers right here, we're going to start flirting with 32, especially I would say Waco north and west of there, west of 35, our northwestern counties. So they're going to see it first, potentially even over towards San Saba Gulfway, west of 281. You can see that we could wake up in the overnight hours and tomorrow morning to some heavy cold rain trying to start to switch over. Saturday morning, this particular model starts to see freezing rain and potentially some sleet across most of our counties by, say, when we're waking up to mid-morning. By Saturday afternoon, just lingering right around that freezing point. So it can be a big difference between, say, your 28, 29 degrees versus 33, 34. A lot can happen in that degree range. So this is what we're going to continue to try to fine tune and see. This is when it's going to be important for us to be here this weekend and hear reports of what people are actually seeing outside, because we are going to be so close to 32. But I highly would recommend not traveling, especially after mid-morning tomorrow, because at that point we could have had a couple of hours, especially our northern counties, where we could start to see the slick roadways because there's been rain that is falling, freezes when it hits the ground. So we could have some lulls here and there throughout the daytime tomorrow between the morning round tonight and tomorrow morning's round. We may have some breaks here and there. But then likely Saturday in the PM hours, Saturday afternoon, evening, we have quite a bit on radar, and it is going to be below the freezing point and stay that way for some time, starting Friday in the afternoon hours. You could see potentially, Saturday tomorrow. So by 7, 8 o'clock, you've got dinner, whatever you're doing tomorrow evening. You definitely want to stay where you're at. You don't want to be going out and about unless you absolutely have to, because I think this is when we're going to start to hear about sliding and the dangerous roadway situation, right? This is going to be Saturday evening, basically throughout the day on Sunday. Precipitation is going to clear out from west to east pretty quickly Sunday morning. All models now agree on that. Best chance to see snow is going to be in the overnight hours, Saturday into Sunday morning. And the best chance area-wide is going to be our northern counties. They simply have a better chance as we head on into Sunday morning. But really, it could be anywhere. It's just going to happen quickly if it does happen. That's our best chance to have all columns of the atmosphere well below freezing and actually see snowfall. But again, it's primarily just going to be a freezing rain and sleet event for Central Texas and just straight up cold rain, especially today. It's just the rain today. People keep asking me, like, am I okay for whatever tonight? Yeah, you're fine. It is just going to be an annoyance tonight, certainly. So you can see that Sunday, so cold. And Monday, Tuesday as well. Those mornings going to be extremely cold. Second weather model, kind of going to tell the same story here. We roll through the rest of this evening. Temperatures are about to start falling here shortly as that air mass does make its way across the state. We see that transition line somewhere across our viewing area, likely in the overnight hours, but especially into Saturday morning. And you can see even down towards the Texas Hill Country, if for some reason you're going south, you say I have a chance of this too. It's going to arrive a little bit later for those guys. Also in the Brazos Valley, you may be above freezing throughout Saturday morning. So that's something to certainly watch. If you're sitting at 36, 38 degrees, that's going to be a very cold rain. It is going to be Saturday afternoon for our southeastern counties, likely to start to see that switch over. But if you're north of Waco and west of Waco, I think it is going to be a little bit earlier. And you can see potentially we can have some flurries mixing in the back half of Saturday into Sunday morning. But again, for the most part, not anticipating for snow accumulations. Saturday evening, I think, is one of our better chances to see the widespread precipitation on radar. I think we're going to have spurts going across the viewing area here and there, but this is holding pretty steady on both models for it to really pick up Saturday evening and then clear out Sunday morning from west to east. You can see all of our data now agrees. Sunday mid-morning, we're going to clear out quickly, but we're going to stay extremely cold. Now, I want to note that on purpose because we don't go above freezing that day. Anything that hit the ground can refreeze, not even refreeze, it's just going to stay how it is. It's never going to have time to melt. So Monday morning, Tuesday morning, and especially if we don't go above freezing Monday, we could have a couple of days where there's slick roadways lingering. So just something to think about into early next week. You can see that the timing on this thing, because this is one of the big questions we're getting today, is when are we going to be below 32? When are we potentially going to see the freezing rain and the sleet and the bad roadways? So looking like pre-sunrise likely for these counties in blue here. Again, northwestern areas west of 281, along 36 once you get northwest of Gatesville. Hill County as well, Hillsborough actually has one of the better chances to see potentially a heavy ice storm situation. So certainly something to take into consideration. You can see maybe I'd say daybreak to noon, but maybe mid-morning-ish for our central counties. That includes Bell, McLennan, surrounding counties, and then up towards Mejia, Fairfield. And then more like an early afternoon situation for the Brazos Valley in South Texas. Potentially how much ice are we going to see? Again, a lot of folks don't know this. Like, okay, if we get like 0.1 versus 0.3 versus 0.5 plus, like what does that even mean? If you start to see 0.3 plus, that can be power outages, down power lines, a lot of little limbs in your driveway even start to lose trees at that point. If you're seeing like 0.1, 0.2, you're kind of in that area where you could start to see issues. Anything above 0.5 is a serious situation. Not only do you not want to be out there driving, you're likely going to physically see damage. And yeah, I think we're going to be hearing about some power outages at some point. To what extent that will be, one of the last things I want to note, this is not the 2021 storm where you're going to lose power for over a week. This is a different storm. We're not going to go under freezing for 8 days. This is going to be, we are still not below freezing right now. It's Friday. Tomorrow at some point we dip below 32, and then maybe for a couple of days we stay that way. And the precipitation window is a lot less than that year. We're not going to have several inches of snow with ice under it, ice over it situation. It is going to be not lasting that long, and the precipitation is primarily not going to be snow. It is going to be a couple of rounds of potentially freezing rain and sleet. So this is really nothing like that last system. Yes, it is going to get extremely cold for a couple of days, but don't want people to panic and think that it's going to be like that was a few years ago. Extreme cold warning again. This is what it's going to feel like Sunday morning, Monday morning, and Tuesday morning. So I think some folks have been paying so particular attention to this weekend and wondering if we're going to get sleet or if the roads are going to be slick, that not as, you know, the focus hasn't been so much on early next week. But yeah, Monday, Tuesday mornings are going to be crazy cold. I think we do see some schools delaying or canceling, so that'll be something to watch as well. You can see potentially even sub-zero in some spots Monday morning. So certainly haven't had that this winter season, and honestly a couple of years at this point. So again, we're now going into the end of Friday here. It's just rain today. You can see still foggy looking out over Temple right now. That is a live picture there. We'll continue to do these updates here on 6 Plus. So tune in here. We're not only streaming radar constantly the entire weekend, we also added some newscasts too. Saturday, Sunday mornings, you can tune in to here on 6 Plus or Channel 6. We'll be doing all these cut-ins, telling you exactly what's going on live. Our weather team's here all weekend. So also, if you have questions, comments, hop on our Facebook page or YouTube. If you have reports, I believe it's weather@kcentv.com, weather@kcentv.com, and you can email us too. I'd love to see your pictures and your videos. I feel like that's one of the best things that we can do besides pulling up tech stock cameras and going out ourselves and seeing what is out there. It's your reports that are really going to help us get that full picture and relay it out to people. So that is the last thing I'll say for the time being. We'll be on air at 5. We'll be doing more streams here on 6 Plus, so you guys stay warm.